Hi, my name is Wanda Kay, and I wanted to talk with you a little bit today about the difference between personalities and how we can draw on each other's strengths. I'm only going to focus on two types of people today. I know there are a lot more, but I often find these two people get in conflict with each other, and that's the party animals, the life of the party, and the party planners. Now, in order to have a successful party, you've got to have both. You need somebody to take care of the details. Who's bringing the pickles and the chips and the dip and the napkins and the paper plates? Who's bringing all that stuff? Someone has to figure out those details. And then you need somebody who's going to show up and be the life of the party, who's going to join in the conversation, who's going to say, hey, that reminds me of a story, and tell a funny joke. You need that person too. And often what I find is that the party planners, the people who are all in the details, get consumed with the drudgery of that, while the party animals are just having a blast. And so conflict arises as resentments build. I can remember I used to be so stuck in that planning stage of stuff that I never enjoyed holidays. I was the one stuck in the kitchen. I was the one picking up after and doing the this and the that and the other. And it felt like I was the slave. Now, this was my perception. It wasn't accurate, but it felt like I was the slave while everybody else just showed up to have a good time. Now, my goal was that everyone did have a good time, and they did. So I accomplished my goal. But I didn't get to have any fun. So I learned that I needed to appreciate the party animals, the life of the party, the people who came and showed up and told the funny jokes and stories and everything else. And I needed to let go of some of the details. Maybe things wouldn't be exactly done as I wanted, but they would get done. And I could have fun too. I could enjoy that. And I could enjoy the people who brought the light and the life to the party. And I also had to appreciate the fact that they did bring the light and the life to the party and be glad for their company and enjoying them. Now that's on my side. But on the other side, it also took those people who are the life of the party to be able to appreciate and understand that if somebody wasn't back there planning everything, nothing would be happening. There would be no fun. There would be no joy. There would be none of this. And so we need to begin to appreciate each other's gifts. I have to tell you, two events that drove this home for me recently were I went on a trip and I had someone who is not quite to the extent detail-oriented as I am, but they had watched and appreciated the fact that I had done a lot of planning and effort and everything gone into a lot of events. And this person said, you know what, this time you're not going to have to worry about all of that. I'm going to drive you where you need to be. I'm going to make sure the meals are taken care of. I'll make the arrangements for the lodging. You just be. And that was the greatest gift anyone had given me in a long time. It was like, it wasn't anything like I could hold a receipt or hold something in my hands. It was just the greatest gift to have someone do that for me. What an amazing and precious gift. And I so appreciated it, especially as it was coming from someone who's usually the life of the party. What grace and what joy that was for me to enjoy that. The other thing that happened was my dad, he is such a detail-oriented person. I kid you not. He checks math that calculators have done by doing his own mental math. That's how detail-oriented he is. And my sons love hanging out with their granddad. My sons, on the other hand, are just the life of the party. They are life's parade, waiting for the crowd to show up and wave at them. That's just my kids. And they had planned something to do with their grandpa. And their grandpa had called and said, listen, I'm going to pick you guys up, okay? And they were like, yeah, okay, we'll be ready. And so they went around the house, they did whatever things they had to do, got ready, played some instruments, watched a little TV, and waited and waited. And finally the second phone call came, and my dad is asking his grandsons, where are you guys? And they said, we're here. Where are you? He says, I'm sitting in the driveway where I told you I was. And my party animal sons went, our driveway? We thought you were in your driveway. Now, I don't know what it is about the non-detail oriented people that my sons are that made them think that my dad would call them from his driveway, but they did. And so this is going to be a funny story for ages to come, because I think Dad sat out there for like an hour or so while my sons were just waiting for him to show up, and he was already here. But that's the kind of funny stories that happen between these detail-oriented people and party animals. Party animals and the sunshine and life of the party, they're not listening for the details. They just, hey, tell us when to go. We're ready to start. That's all that they're interested in. The details about whether they're late or on time, that just that's not a big deal to them. And yet the detail-oriented people are sitting in the driveway going, where are they? So we need to have grace. We need to appreciate each other's gifts, because you know what? When it all comes together, when the detail-oriented people get it all taken care of behind the scenes and they know how to delegate so no one person is overwhelmed, and then the life of the party people show up and they make it such a great time, it's a wonderful combination. And so if we can set aside resentments and let go of a few things and loosen up on the detail-oriented side, and if the party animal people can go, wait, let me listen for some details here so that I don't get things lost in translation. And if we can do that together, it is an amazing and unstoppable combination. So if you've been in business for 5 seconds, you've probably realized some of these things that I'm telling you. And if you haven't, this might be a good time to step back and evaluate. You've attracted various people to what you're interested in and what you're doing, and everybody can draw on each other's strength and create something so much bigger than just you alone. So I hope that this has given you something to consider. I hope this video has been a blessing to you. And of course, I hope you will like, comment, and share it with others. And I look forward to talking with you again soon. Have a good time.